What actually happens in the NFL when you switch teams like that? What all goes into that?
You're supposed to be in the building at 11 o'clock for a workout. And so you're sleeping in a little bit and you get a call and it's right at like 7 a.m. and they're like, hey, we need you to come in right now. Hate to be the one to tell you, bring your iPad, like come in. And at that moment, you know, okay, I'm getting released. I'm getting waived by the team, so I'm not going to be here any longer. So you first get to the facilities and you walk in. It's interesting how they do it. You walk into this room with all these guys that are being cut. There's 14 other guys sitting in this room, and you know, you just look around, you're like, what's up, guys? Like, hey, we're going to be all right. You know, Daniel Thomas was another one that got released that day, and he came in just blaring worship music, and so that kind of lifted my spirit in that moment, which was really cool for him to be there. And then you kind of just work through, you talk to the GM, talk to the head coach, you talk to your position coaches, and you get feedback. And you know, ultimately, they said it's a hard decision to make, but it's the decision that we're going to make today. We're going to release you, and gosh, that next 24 hours is just a whirlwind of, you know, what could happen, where you could end up. And it definitely felt very similar to how the draft felt, where you could go to any team. You just know that you're not going to Jacksonville, I'll say that. And so with being waived like that, other teams have 24 hours to claim you. And if multiple teams claim you, it's the team that has the worst record. So basically draft order from that previous year. They have it goes in that order, and whoever picks you in that order gets to have you first. And so that next day about 1 o'clock is kind of when things were wiring down, and you have lots of teams call you and ask if you're interested, and you know they're interested in you and potential practice squads elsewhere. But then, you know, my agent called me right at like that 12:55 mark, and he's like, all right, you ready to know where you're going? You know, kind of like it's draft night again, and he's all excited about it. And ended up being Indianapolis Colts. And man, they shipped me on out of Jacksonville that night, got on a plane, my wife and I, and we were in Indianapolis from there, and just thrown into it, learning a whole new defense, learning a whole new special teams and all that.